Wellman. I am the assistant town manager. I would say it's a beautiful day, but it's threatening, but it's not going to rain. It's a beautiful day. Wouldn't dare rain on Reading. Thank you for coming to this grand opening to celebrate the Maillet, Sommes, and Morgan Conservation Area and recognize the significant work and effort of so many people, our vendors, our town select board, our volunteers, on so many staff who have worked to build resiliency in our community. So we are going to change things up a little bit, and we're going to do the ribbon cutting first, and then we'll move into our speaking program. We'll be hearing from our esteemed guests, including Congressman Moulton, our delegation, Senator Lewis, and Representatives Jones and Haggerty, and Undersecretary Catherine Antos. So thank you all for coming. And first, we're doing the ribbon cutting. So if I can have the select board members who are here, Ms. Herrick, Ms. Murphy, Mr. Bocci, and Mr. Haley, the manager. And let's see, I'll stand on the end. The delegation is gonna give this to one of you people. Here, Chuck, will you take the end, please? And then we're gonna go. You want to be the whole thing? Yeah. I'm just going to go this way. Oh, no, Brad, I got the scissors. I got the scissors. So we can get everybody a little closer to the ribbon so we can get the video. Everybody got the blue memo but me. So here you go, Matt. Congressman, come on in. Get it way up on the blade. Let me ask you. Come on in. Come on in. People want to move forward and kind of flow in this way, that's fine. I'd like to welcome the chair of the Conservation Commission, Brian Bowe, to come to the microphone for a few brief remarks. I hope they're brief.
Good afternoon. I do want to echo the thought on the weather. If you remember in our announcement ceremony day, it was very hot. As they said in my neighborhood, it was a scorcher. I can't speak loud. Anyway, so I'm going to leave the thank yous to other people later in the program, with two exceptions. There's two people I want to note in particular. The first is Chuck Taroni. He's the conservation administrator for the town of Reading. Standing over there, looking very casual. The second is Alex Rizicki, right over there. He's from the engineering group in Reading. These two people were relentless from the start of the project right through the inevitable hiccups to where we are today. So thank you to both of you. As you look around now, you're seeing really the beginning of the life of this area. When we were here last time for the announcement, somebody said this place is a gem, and they were right. In its current state, it's at least an opal. Once it fills in, it will be a diamond. The rains will have filled the pool, the trees will have prospered, the bushes will reach their full maturity, the grasses and other ground cover will be fully filled in and waving in the breeze. Wildlife will have moved into the pool down there to keep company with those two decoy swans, who I affectionately think of as Chuck and Alex. There's a bird sanctuary right next door, the Dalen Bird Sanctuary. So we're expecting that birds from there will make their way over here for food, for nesting, just to have a good time. Before you leave today, I know some of you have done the tour already, but I'd like you to go over to there. There's a slight rise. Top of the rise, there's a maple tree. And I think you should go up there because once you're there, you can kind of see the entirety of the project. Uh, and I'd like you to go up there and just imagine what this will be. Imagine looking down and seeing people walking the path, some pushing strollers, some people with binoculars watching those birds that I just talked about. Imagine further that you're up there, beginning of the day, the end of the day, watching the sun rise or the sun set. Imagine further that you turn around and you see behind you some comfortable benches where you could sit down and take it all in. And finally, just imagine that when you turn and see those benches, for a modest gift to the Conservation Fund, you can have your name on a plaque on one of those benches. Talk to me, talk to Chuck. We know people, we can make it happen. At any rate, seriously, I would like to thank everybody for making this happen. Everything from the good folks, the federal level, to the state, the town, the people from the Mystic River Watershed Association. As the great late great Tip O'Neill once said, think globally, act in red. That's what he wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brian. I would like to now have you join me in welcoming our town manager, Matt Cornelis, who will recognize the contributions from so many for this effort.
Thank you very much, Jane. Thanks everybody for coming. What beautiful weather again. Much better, like we said, than when we did the groundbreaking. It was like 90 degrees. So I'll take this any day of the week. So I want to thank you all for coming to this important event. Seeing this project develop over the past several years, 2 or 3 years, has truly been an inspiration to me and to the town. Together, we've not only created a beautiful area for people to come and enjoy, Reading residents to enjoy, but also we've developed an innovative way to solve the problem of flooding in the Abidjona River, and that is no small feat. So I'm going to be thanking quite a few people today, and it's well deserved. I hope I don't miss anybody. I'm on thank you duty today, but I will try to get everybody in. This is truly a transformative area, and I hope people enjoy it for generations to come. There are many people to thank, and I want to extend my deepest thank yous to Chuck Tyrone, who was already recognized today, but is our conservation administrator and has been on this job from the beginning and has done an excellent job. So thank you, Chuck, on behalf of the town of Reading. We can give him another round of applause. I'd also like to thank the Reading Conservation Commission as a whole, who did a great job on this project. The Reading Select Board, we have members here today of the Select Board, have been supportive of the project from the beginning, and we're happy that they're joining us here today. Andrew McNichol, he's our Community Development Director. I think I see him out there somewhere in the back as usual, but he's done, yes, give him a round of, he's done an excellent job as well. And including, he's had a lot of other duties lately in Town Hall, and this is an important one. I'd also like to thank Ryan Percival, who's our town engineer, who you might have met on the tour, and Alex Rizicki, who's the assistant town engineer of Reading. They were very passionate about this project from the beginning, and if you went on the tour with them today, you can see that they still are. I would like to thank the entire DPW staff, because along the way, everybody sort of lent a hand. We're all about teamwork here in Reading, and that's personified within the DPW staff, so thank you to them. I'd also like to thank the abutters and the residents for your patience during construction, and they were very patient. We got very few calls of complaining. Most of the calls I got were, when's it going to open? We can't wait to use it. So again, thank you to those who live in the neighborhood. We want to thank our state delegation. They're here tonight. Today, Senator Lewis, Reps Jones and Haggerty, for your support of the project. Thank you very much, and for bringing state officials to help us along. And of course, Congressman Moulton, who secured the federal earmark for us and has been a big supporter of the project from the start. We couldn't have done it without you, so thank you very much for all your help. Thank you. Just a few more people, and I'll move on. MVP, I think the Municipal Vulnerability Preparedness Group is here today in attendance. I'd like to thank and recognize them. Also, our design team at Horsley Witten is here today as well. Thank you very much. And Bill Peach, who's the head of our T4 group in construction, is here today. I met him earlier. So he did a really great job in construction with his team. So let's give Bill Peach and T4 a big round of applause. Thank you very much. And the Mystic River Watershed Association was very instrumental. And then my predecessors, former town managers Fidel Montez, Bob Larashura, who got the project started and off the ground years ago. So thank you very much. At this time, I want to invite up an important figure that made this all possible today, and that's our Congressman Seth Moulton. So thanks again for that.
It is a lot nicer to be here than on the kickoff day when we were all sweating through our clothes. But to be perfectly honest, there's a part of me that was hoping for a deluge so that we could see this in action and really understand what this is all about. But I'm just going to make 2 points, one for each $1 million we delivered to get this thing started. Good line, right? The first is that this is a team effort. It's a team effort from the local level, some great leadership in Reading, and the people who literally made it happen, the engineers who oversaw this project, right through the state delegation with federal partners, Democrats and Republicans coming together to do the right thing for the community and the climate. That's a real important thing in today's political climate to see that happen. And so I'm very proud of the team that came together to make this project happen. And the second point I want to make is that this should be a model across the country, not just for political cooperation, although that's really important in this election season as well, but for the way that we are investing in the future, that we are investing to meet the challenges of climate change, and that we're making our communities more beautiful in the process. Climate mitigation doesn't have to be, something that just comes at a cost. This is a huge investment in this community that will be utilized by generations. And we can see that right here. Kids are already excited about this project, and that's exciting to me. So thank you all so much for making this possible and coming together. This is a great success story, and I hope we tell it across Massachusetts.
Thank you very much, Congressman Moulton. I would now like to welcome the first member of our delegation to speak, Senator Jason Lewis.
All right, thank you, Jane. What an exciting day. I want to add my voice in thanking and congratulating, first and foremost, the town of Reading, Matt, Jane, former town manager Fidel Maltez, the elected officials, Select Board and Conservation Commission, and all of the town staff have worked so hard to make this possible. The Mystic River Watershed Association, you do such great work in this whole region. Resilient Mystic Collaborative, and everyone else who's made this amazing project possible. I want to especially thank again Congressman Moulton for joining us today. You have an incredibly busy schedule, a lot on your plate, and you made time to join us. And the federal funding that you secured was a critical piece of this project. So thank you. And I want to thank my colleagues in the Reading State Delegation. We have a great team and work very well together. Representative Jones and Representative Haggerty, for working with me to advocate for the 2.1 million, right, state MVP grant for this project. That's actually one of the largest MVP grants, municipal vulnerability preparedness, that the state has ever awarded. So the state certainly understood the value of this project. Many of us were here almost exactly 2 years ago to celebrate this state grant, and returning today to see how this area has been transformed is quite remarkable. I'm sure we would all agree. We know the benefits of this project are numerous: better stormwater management and flood control for Reading and for downstream communities, restoration of natural habitat, and of course, wonderful new opportunities for accessible outdoor recreation for people of all ages and abilities. A final point I'll make is, as the impacts of climate change continue to bear down upon us, and I know we all have in our minds right now, in our hearts, all of the all of the many fellow Americans who are suffering the consequences of Hurricane Helene and what that's done to the Southeast. We know that this visionary and collaborative project is showing us the way forward to address these immense challenges that we are facing locally and across the country. So again, congratulations and thank you very much.
Brad Jones to the microphone next, please.
Thank you, Jane. I'll be brief. I think everybody touched on the points, but this represents a terrific culmination of a terrific partnership between the grassroots all the way up to Capitol Hill. And we want to give another round of applause to Congressman Bolton, who is, I know, has to head out. We got an incredible schedule. And this is the kind of project that current generations need to do for future generations. And while we get the benefit now, it's really about this young man here and other generations that are going to benefit from this. It represents the perfect, as the congressman said, bipartisan cooperation between the grassroots all the way up to Capitol Hill. And I think is kudos to the town of Reading and everyone that's been involved. And I'm going to turn the microphone over after saying thank you. And I'm so glad it's 25 degrees cooler than it was 2 years ago. To my House colleague, Representative Rich Hagerty. Thanks, Brad. And again, thank everyone for being here, particularly the engineers who did this bridge. We're testing the weight limits right now. Looks like we're going to hold up. You're not honest. But, you know, not to be redundant, but again, this is just a day to say thank you. And, you know, I know the Reading Trails Committee's here, and I know there's a lot of people who've been doing a lot of work through the years maintaining this area and making sure that a lot of the neighbors who live and abut this area and of course across the community have an opportunity to be able to enjoy this area. You know, to be able to parlay that into, of course, the federal dollars, the state dollars, the local dollars that make a recreation area like this possible, that make an area that's able to allow us to enjoy the environment like this, that helps us respond to climate change. All of those things coming together are representation, I think, of what makes the possible reality, and that's where we sit today. So this is government at its best today. This is why we're doing it. As was mentioned earlier, it's for the kids. It's for the next generation in front of us. And it's a special day for the town of Reading. And I'm proud to be able to join you all in thanking everybody and playing a small role in bringing this to reality. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Representative Hagerty. And finally, I'd like to invite our final speaker up, Undersecretary of Decarbonization and Resilience, Catherine Antos.
Good afternoon. What a great turnout. Well, I want to say good afternoon. I want to say thank you to Matt and Jane and the whole Reading team that's here. Also to Congressman Moulton, who's supporting us not just in projects like this, but in helping us to bring federal resources throughout the Commonwealth to take climate action. Special thank you to Senator Lewis and Representative Jones and Representative Hagerty for being here and also for supporting energy and environmental affairs in terms of helping us to get the historic and unprecedented resources that we have to support climate action, climate resilience, and watershed protection. So thank you very much. I also want to recognize our regional partners, the Mystic River Watershed Association. And the Resilient Mystic Collaborative. I appreciate your enthusiasm because I actually come to the climate space from my background is in wetland and watershed restoration. So what we're seeing here today and what we're talking about today, this is like my love language and my happy space. So thank you. Thank you. And then even though she's now with the city of Cambridge, I would be remiss not to recognize Julie Wormser, who was previously with the Resilient Mystic Collaborative. She is someone who truly embodies the spirit of collaboration. I also want to extend a special thank you to Andrew McNichol and Alex Rosicki. Every community needs climate champions. And you are those climate champions. So thank you. I don't know where Andrew went, but he's off being the other duties as assigned, other champion roles. But seriously, we need people in our communities who have the vision and take it through the planning and take it through the implementation, the hours that goes into it, all of the coordination. So you really are Reading's MVP. So thank you for that. Yay! But as the events of the past few days have really made clear, climate change is here. Our nation, our world is experiencing those impacts firsthand. And so I want to recognize and also honor the lives lost and the communities that have been devastated by Hurricane Helene. And I want to send them strength and resilience as they move into this recovery effort. Taking action so that we can address flooding and extreme weather is more important now than it has ever been before. And so that's why this ribbon cutting, it matters. It matters to the community of Reading. It matters to the Mystic River watershed. Our Municipal Vulnerability Preparedness Program, or MVP, through action grants has supported this work through critically important junctures along the way. Back in 2019, MVP funded the first phase of this project, which was a grant to the Resilient Mystic Collaborative to look at regional stormwater management opportunities across the watershed. In 2020, MVP funded the next phase of it, where it took a select number of those few priority sites, those regional stormwater management projects, including this one, and brought it through the design and permitting phase. And anyone who's done design or permitting knows that that is no small feat. And then again, in 2022, as was mentioned earlier, Reading received one of the largest MVP grants, $2.2 million, to construct this project that we are seeing here today. So fast forward 2 years to today, we're standing here, and I love the clouds. I don't have to squint or anything. This is wonderful weather. But this is the type of stuff that we love to see, which is the MVP program laying the seeds for regional projects, for regional collaboration, and then following it through the multiple stages that have to happen over the years, attracting new partners and new funding. And thank you for your help in that along the way so that we can bring these projects to fruition. And these projects, while they're reducing climate risk, they have many co-benefits too. So we are in a beautiful area that not only is reducing our flood impacts, it's increasing biodiversity, it is increasing habitat, it is improving water quality, and it's also creating some great recreational spaces too. Would you agree? Yeah. Yeah. So this is the kind of thing that we love to see happening. I also want to thank Reading for its ongoing participation in the MVP effort. It's currently participating in the MVP 2.0 planning process, which is about centering our people and our residents, and in particular, those most affected by climate change in terms of updating the community's climate resilience plan. So thank you for that. And not to let any of those plans sit on the shelf, Reading, along with the Resilient Mystic Collaborative, just received a little over $500,000 to identify top flood-prone facilities in the Upper Mystic watershed, or in the Upper Mystic municipalities that serve high-risk populations. So that is also critically important, again, to center our people in this climate resilience work. Thank you. So I don't want to stand much longer between us and a great wetlands tour because, again, that is my happy place. But I just want to acknowledge that clearly Reading is a municipality that is not afraid to roll up its sleeves and dig into this important work. And this is exactly the work that we want to be doing more of. Centering people, identifying opportunities, building capacity, and creating a pipeline that can see projects through from vision to on-the-ground change. So congratulations and thank you to all of the project partners on this day and this work.
All right, well, that concludes our program. It also concludes Climate Week in Reading. If you've been following us on Facebook, we've been putting out information every single day about different ways that the town works to achieve climate resilience, and through energy savings and through environmental justice work, and everything in between. Thank you all for coming today. If you would like to stick around and take a tour from some of the people who've been involved in this, raise your hands, Alex and Andrew and Chuck. They're going to head this way to this beautiful vista behind me. Thank you all for coming. Great. I feel like
Yeah.